Well, it's Thanksgiving. Happy birthday. Isn't that exciting? Like 52 Thanksgiving days ago I was born. 51 Thanksgiving days ago I was born. This would be my 52nd, I guess. Fucking 1, 0. This would maybe my 53rd Thanksgiving. Not many people that are 52-ish years, 51 years old get a second 53rd. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So it's kind of a birthday show rather than my birth date. So you get to see me getting ready for the new year. Here we go. It's time to stock the refrigerator. And if you're going to stock the refrigerator, you got to make room. Happy Thanksgiving. See, it's a simple idea. That this is not my birth date, but it is my birthday. I like to think that you can celebrate the day you were born if it's a day that means anything. And then the date you were born, just so people know when your birthday's coming. But they should all know that Thanksgiving is my birthday. Do you know what day you were born? What day of the week? Which day of the week were you born? See how to make you think. A guy like me that's not too bright, they make it easy. They just have you be born on the 4th Thursday of the month, you know. The day Thanksgiving, you know, it lands on the 4th Thursday of the month. Everybody knows that. And knowing that I was born on Thanksgiving Day means that I know I was born on a Thursday. Thursday, God of thunder and rock and roll. Government doesn't give us enough holidays, so we have to make up our own. And this is what you get. I don't just get 2 birthdays a year to celebrate, Thanksgiving and my birth date, but I also get my fake ID birthday to celebrate. August 19th, 1967. I think his name was Tim Howard. He was a cook. And his military ID was a bit, you know, they get crusty and falling apart sometimes. And it's got your picture on the front part of it. It's 2 pieces of paper laminated together. And on the back side, it's got your height, your weight, your eye color, your birth date, all these things. The facts. The picture on the front is just a picture. And I know I've got this fake ID somewhere. I gotta find it one day. And hey, so you can have mine. I'll just say I lost it and I'll get a new one. So I took it and I peeled it in half because you could see the way it was coming apart that it was 2 pictures. And I was like, oh, And so I peeled it in half, and I took the back half of his ID, and I took mine, and I peeled it in half and said I'd lost mine too. So I got a new one. And I used that old one with my picture from basic training. And I put it over his information, August 19th, 1967. Brown hair, blue eyes. He said 5'11", and I was 6 foot, close enough. August 19th, 1967, which made me old enough to drink as a 19-year-old. And I ironed the front side of my ID that I peeled. I ironed it to the back side of his ID that he peeled. Just light ironing, not enough to scorch it, not enough to make it brown. It was just held together, and it was kind of like, as long as nobody fucked with it too much, it wouldn't come apart, which wouldn't make any difference anyway. It's still the back side of mine. But if it comes apart too easily, it's obvious that somebody did something. And the one time I was into one of these Chili's type restaurants, thank God it's Friday restaurants, whatever they are, one of Annabelle's restaurants, it was another one like those. Went up, and the guy that was serving me my drink, he looked at my ID, he looked on the back, and as I was told at the time, I looked like I was 14 anyway. And he looked at me and he went, he just rattled the fuck out of that ID like it was gonna come apart. He knew what I'd done, I think. But it didn't come apart. I did a perfect job of ironing. Sometimes good work is its own reward. Sometimes the reward comes from the result of the good work. And he said, and he gave it to me and he served me my drink. And at that point I realized I gotta do something about this. So then shortly after that, they had one of those things where the division processing, whatever, information unit, whatever, they come down and they make sure everything's okay, and they check people's records. And I'd gone through the line already the day before. It was like a day or two that they did this. And next time I was coming through, I had this idea. I said, here we go. You see, good fortune comes to those who take risks. I said, here we go. I'm gonna get this fucking ID fixed. And they would look at IDs and they would say, if it's too bad, we need to get you to get a new one, or we have a laminating machine. I'd known that already, that we can just put it in between a new laminate and run it through. And so I said, here we go. I'm walking past the laminating machine, and there's the line of people, and I just stepped out of nowhere walking by, and I said, hey, my ID is in kind of rough shape. Do you think you could laminate it? And the guy looks at it and he says, no problem. Puts it in the laminator, runs it through. I got a perfectly laminated fake ID by the U.S. military. And it worked. Fucking worked. I was afraid the guy would check my records. That was the risk I was taking. He could have looked up my records to get my actual birth date and make sure the ID was correct. But what you got to count on is people not doing their job very well. It's a rare occasion when you find somebody who does do their job well. That's when you get in trouble. Wow. happy birthday. And if I were you, like me, I celebrate my conception date too, the day my parents fucked. Take as many holidays as you can get and enjoy those that last 4 days.